Hi there! Today I'm thrilled to take you on an incredible tour of the conservatory at the United States Botanic Garden in Washington D.C. Did you know this gem is the oldest continuously operating public garden in the United States? Established way back in 1820, it was part of George Washington's visionary dream for a national botanic garden, and his dream came through right here on the National Mall. One of the most jaw-dropping is the Orchid collection that boasts around 3,000 specimens with hundreds on display at any given time. The way they arrange plants with a different foliage texture, creating a stunning display that's both mesmerizing and perfectly balanced. I can't get enough of how each plant is labeled with its scientific name. I'm such a plant nerd, right? But it really helps when you are captivated by the particular plant, so you can go home, dive into the research, or even add it to your own collection. Let's dive in and explore this botanical wonderland. Inside the conservatory at the garden court, you will find a stunning lineup of orchid and educational content. Many wild orchids are at risk of extinction due to the climate change, habitat destruction, and illegal collection. Thankfully, laboratory propagation has made orchids widely available for purchase without harming natural populations. Some orchids have clever ways to trap insects to help with pollination. When an insect gets trapped inside the flower, it brushes against the flower's reproductive parts and picks up pollen while trying to escape. This is a smart way to make sure that the pollen will transfer to other flowers, right? I absolutely love orchids. They bloom for months, adding the beauty to any space. However, I struggle to get them to thrive. Here there is a section talk about how to take care of orchids, and it's packed with useful tips. First, you need to test the light, as different orchids require varying amount of light. They are categorized into low light, medium light, and high light orchids. On a bright summer day, hold your hand 6 inches above where your orchids will be placed. If the shadow is faint, the low light orchids are best to be there. But if you can see a strong and distinct shadow, high light orchid could be thrive there. Next, consider your exposure. South-facing windows are ideal, but many high-light and medium-light orchids can thrive on the windowsill facing west or partial block southern exposures. East-facing windows are perfect for low-light orchids. Third, orchids prefer to dry out between watering and should never sit in water. When watering, drench the pot thoroughly and ensure to drain completely. Lastly, many orchids benefit from a nighttime drop in temperature. For some varieties, this helps them flower. During several weeks in fall, leave the window slightly cracked open at night to allow the temperature to drop about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. All of this sounds simple, right? But for somehow it's challenging, especially the watering part. Even though I use the orchid potting mix and the orchid clear container and dip them in the water for 10 minutes once a week, I still facing the issue with the root rot. It's hard to know if the center is dry because it always looks dry from the surface. Here I noticed they have orchids hanging in these charming wooden containers, which remind me of what I have seen in Thailand. There, we often use coconut husk as orchid media and create a beautiful hanging display. Look at this! I had no idea that orchids could have variegated leaves. It's amazing to see such a unique and beautiful varieties. Love the broad long leaves of the asplenium. I got this inspiration when I visited the Chihuly Garden and Glass. I will include the link to that visit in the video description. The species Asplenium scolopendrium is cold hardy to zone 5 and is evergreen. I can't wait to buy it for next year planting. There's a tropical section with dome that rises to impressive 93 feet. My son said it makes him feel like he's in Jurassic Park. I love that you can get a top-down view and look down below. It's fascinating to see how the fruits we eat, like this pineapple, look in their natural state. And the cocoa pods that we use for chocolate. I also love the word desert section and how they creatively arrange different cacti form to be an interesting desert garden. Even though each section is small but is packed full with thoughtful design, they use a variety of plant structures, round, upright, and weeping, understanding exactly where to place each stem. Plus, it's full of educational material. There's a Hawaii section featuring a collection of plants native to Hawaii. Look at this cabbage on stick. Aren't they adorable? It's sad to hear that this plant is almost extinct, but the US Botanic Garden is helping to keep the species alive. Here's a great example of using different foliage texture in the combination of fine small leaves and broad narrow leaves and the compound leaves. This creates a beautiful contrast and add visual interest to the garden. Also have the primeval garden, which transports you back 150 million years. This garden offers a glimpse of the world before flowering plants dominated the landscape. And here we're at the end of the video. I absolutely love this botanic garden. The size is perfect and it's packed with well thought out and beautiful landscape and design, interesting plants, and educational material. I hope you enjoyed this video too. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!